A lot to cover. Oh, man, I can't wait. And I got a big follow-up on some things yesterday, but some big things we're going to cover today as well. Where is that story? Oh, I'm not quite ready.
Thank you. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
It sure is. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Today is Biden's big boy press conference. Oh, I can't wait for that. Oh, my goodness. They're going to have him so full of whatever it is they give him. I don't know if it's Red Bull or that stuff that they found outside the Situation Room at the. I don't know what they give, but they're going to give him something. And even then, it'll probably be a complete disaster. We've got a lot to cover on the show today. I cannot believe it is Thursday already. And it's also amazing that the Republican convention is next week. And, of course, the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, is going to get the nomination next week. And we're going to find out who our vice president is. And I know there's all kinds of speculation on who the vice president is going to be. Right now, everyone's saying Marco Rubio because of the rally. I don't know, but I do know this. It's exciting, and it's really I call it the Trump miracle. But what we're in right now is very accurately called the summer of Trump. My wife came up with that idea, by the way, the summer of Trump. She was saying it's the summer of Trump, and I was like, yeah, you know it is. It's the summer of Trump. And if we went back in time 3.5 years, 4 years, would we have ever dreamed we would be where we are today with President Trump? Everything they've done to this guy, it's an absolute miracle. But it most definitely is the summer of Trump. And for people out there who think that Biden has gotten away with all this and he's going to have no problems, he's going to sail through, he's going to get the nomination, Biden is in a position that it's a catch-22. Even if he wins, he loses. And it's quite obvious with everything that we see going on here. There is an article that blew my mind out of Politico. And, you know, I know a lot of people say, why do you read that liberal stuff? Why do you watch that liberal stuff? You really should. Don't just read things you agree with. You know, when you read these liberal news outlets' content or you watch liberal news, you get a lot of insight into what's going on from their perspective. It's almost like having spies informing you on everything they do. And there is an article that I'm going to go through in a moment that is absolutely amazing. Oh, also coming up in a few minutes after the first break, I said some things on the air that some people gave me a lot of grief about after the show off the air. DMs, text messages, people that have my cell phone number. I'm going to tell you what it is that upset some people, what they said to me, and then I'm going to share something with you to defend my honor. But I want to tell this to all of the keyboard cowards out there. If you've got a problem with me, don't send me a DM on any of the platforms. Don't send me a text message. Pick up the phone, man up, and call me. And call me out on the carpet. All right? All this cowardly stuff with DMs and comments on YouTube videos and text messages. Grow a pair. All right? Men still have penises when they're born, right? Have they done away with that yet? I know they're working on it. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But first, this is incredible news, and it's in Politico. Politico is very, very left-wing. They always have been. And this article I'm going to go through now shows you why there's so much panic about Trump. You know, about Biden. I've been telling you all week that the Democrats, to me, seem to have accepted the re-election of Donald Trump, which is a beautiful thing. And what they're now doing is they're like Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet hanging on to the tail of the Titanic as it's going down, right? And they're all about trying to survive, and by survival, keep their seat in the Congress. They must be completely panicked about losing their seats in Congress. And I see that. And CNN, they're not letting go of this. They are all over Joe Biden. Listen to this. Politico, Biden support slips in deep blue New York. New York is now a battleground state, which means a toss-up state. New York is now a toss-up state. Politico, President Joe Biden has a new problem. A competitive race in deep blue New York. Elected officials, union leaders, and political consultants are panicked over polls showing a steady erosion of Biden's support in New York, which he won by 23 points 4 years ago. They're so worried, they've been trying to convince the Biden team to pour resources into New York to shore up his campaign and boost Democrats running in a half dozen swing districts that can determine control of the House of Representatives. This is amazing. And Biden is running out of money. This thing with Clooney, the fundraising's drying up. They're not raising new money. Biden aides have not focused on New York, committing no significant resources to a state where they expected the president to easily win all 28 electoral college votes in November. But the warning signs are impossible to ignore in New York and have been building up over the past year. 2 private polls, see, these are more of these internal polls that we never see that the Democrats are now giving out. 2 private internal polls conducted in a swing New York House district and reviewed by Politico, one in September, another in March, found that Donald Trump is leading Biden by 1 point, a virtual tie. This is New York. And public polls over the last 4 months found Biden's lead had, shrunk to just 8 points across the entire state. Usually it's 2-1, not even close. We're still acting like this is a one-party state, which for pretty much 20, 25 years it has been, says Democrat Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine, or is it Levine? I truly believe we're a battleground state now. End of quote. End of quote. New York is now being classified by a Democrat party boss in New York as a toss-up state. This is official now. A party boss said it. A Democrat New York party boss said this is a toss-up state now. Biden, whose campaign is in free fall after the debate performance, is yet to pay much attention to New York beyond high-dollar fundraisers. Those are over, right? He was most recently in New York on June 29th to raise money in the Hamptons. And then he went to some Stonewall thing. Now Democrats want Biden to get serious about New York State as they warn of a crisis to democracy posed by Trump's return. Really, we've got a guy who's brain dead, who craps in his pants. We got his wife running the country. We got his crackhead son, who yesterday was reported to be the new chief of staff. But Trump's a threat to democracy? Are you kidding me? A contested, let's see here, it goes on and on. 2 statewide Democrats, including Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, have shared public support for Biden. Schumer, though, has been sparing his public comments about Biden since the president's debate performance 2 weeks ago. As I've said before, I'm with Joe, Schumer said at a press conference this week. But he didn't say Joe was going to win, did he? And it talks more about the pressure that Schumer and all of them are in. New York is now a toss-up state. The only problem we could possibly have is overconfidence. You got to swamp them. Okay? If you have early voting in your state, vote early. I'm voting early. I voted early during the primary. Vote early. You never know. You could have a heart attack, right, and not be able to vote on Election Day or something. There could be a health problem. Get in a car accident. Okay? Somebody could have a baby in the family. Vote early. We've got to swamp them. We've got to get everyone out to vote. We've got to have the largest turnout Republicans have had in decades. Okay? When you have Democrat Party bosses, not anonymously, giving their name, declaring that New York is a toss-up state that could go to Trump, that's huge. And, I don't know, it's slightly in Biden's favor, who knows? But the fact that it's so close means that there are going to be House races and some state races that we're going to win that we would normally not win. It is so important. Those of you that are in these blue areas, California, New York, Michigan, Minnesota, go out and vote. It is very important for you to vote, no matter. A lot of people in these blue areas, what's the point? Go out and do it. Now, we got a lot to cover on the program today. I do want to take your calls. The number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Before we break, I want to talk about Dr. Appleton. He's my chiropractor. He wants to be your chiropractic physician, too. He has changed my life. He has rid me of pain 5 times. And in the instance of my knee, he rid me of pain that I'd been suffering from for over 20 years and gone after just 2 treatments. His laser wave pain treatment works. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays at Dr. Appleton's office. He performs all the laser treatments himself. It works on every type of pain I have ever heard of. Let me pull up the list. Some of these I've never heard of. Some of them I can't even pronounce, and this is not even a complete list. Arthritis, bursitis, work injuries, sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck pain, back injuries, neck injuries, knee pain, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis. I know someone in my family that has that. Oh, my goodness. It's the worst. They're getting treated with Dr. Appleton. Rotary tears, herniated discs, acute pain, chronic pain. If you're in pain, you don't have to be. Go see Dr. Appleton. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. We'll be right back. Okay.
This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Let's see. Where am I going to go now? I've got so much to cover today. All right. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Beverly in Barbados, welcome. How'd you do for the hurricane, Beverly in Barbados? see. All right, we're back after this.
Burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Here we go.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right. 21 minutes after the hour. It is Thursday, July 11th. I cannot believe it is already Thursday. My name is Brian Craig. Our number 1-888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us. 888-465-2631. Okay, I want to get, before I get back to the presidential stuff, I just want to cover something that happened on yesterday's show that I mentioned towards the end of the first hour, and then I get all these hostile messages from wimpy penisless men. Because a real man that's got a penis would pick up the phone and face a guy like a man, not write all these things. I was talking about Candace Owens being an anti-Semite yesterday, because she is. She's too full of herself, arrogant, and stupid to know, but she's an anti-Semite. She hates Jews. Okay? You hear it. And I talked yesterday about how she went through this long-winded story of Jordan Peterson's battle with addiction from years ago, and then she, after, like, I don't know, it seemed like 10 minutes into it, 5 or 10 minutes into it, she shared this tweet of support he showed for Netanyahu defending Israel when the Muslim hordes came in and raped and murdered Israeli girls at the music festival, kidnapped them, turned them into sex slaves. She attributed that somehow to drugs, I'm guessing. But anyway, I went through all that yesterday, and I've referenced her anti-Semitism, and I get all these messages from cowards, all men, not one woman. Some left on YouTube, some sent on DMs on my social platforms. A few people have my cell phone number and sent me a text messages about it. Why are you doing that? Call me on the air, because I'd like to talk about this, but I'm going to share something that she did recently on her new podcast that shows that Candace Owens not only is an anti-Semite, but now she's moved into Holocaust denial. And I'm going to play you a piece of audio from her own podcast from the last week or so that backs this up. Okay? And I told you guys, this is a big problem, because a lot of these full of themselves millennials who think they're so enlightened have still been educated under this age of Obama, and they've had their minds brainwashed with a bunch of liberal crap, and they don't even know it. Okay? And I've been telling you guys for weeks that Candace Owens is going to do herself in with her anti-Semitism, because it's becoming an angle on everything she discusses, and when she gets into it over and over and over, she's going to go further down that anti-Semitic rabbit hole. And now she's gotten into Holocaust denial on the outer edges of it, but it's happened. Joseph Mengele, you know, everybody knows Mengele, right? The Holocaust doctor who experimented and butchered live people and did some of the most horrific things that have been done in modern times to humans. He was an SS officer too, Joseph Mengele. I don't need to tell you who Mengele was. Everyone knows, except Candace Owens. Let me play this clip. And all you keyboard warriors with your cowardly comments to me yesterday, you listen to this and you tell me how this is not anti-Semitism. One guy who's a friend of mine, text messaged me, and he said to me, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on, before I play this. This was one of the more mild comments, but this is a friend of mine. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I get so many text messages. Criticism of the Israeli government is not anti-Semitism. Not on the face of it, no, but this is. Turn your radios up a little louder for this one. This is sick. And then we're going to go to break for the bottom of the hour. And I want people to call and tell me how they feel about this. This is Candace Owens. She's talking about Joseph Mengele. Listen.
On innocent people. Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally.
Because he's a freaking Nazi, stupid. That's why Mengele did it, because he was a Nazi. Let me play it over again. This is sick.
People. Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
It sounds like bizarre propaganda. Joseph Mengele's experimentation on humans sounds like bizarre propaganda. Is that Holocaust denial? Sounds like it to me. Is that anti-Semitism? Sounds like it to me. So all you jerks who just, you know what? I just thought about it. It's men. You all want to have sex with Candace Owens. Is that it? Because she's good looking? She's a lot less good looking now than she was a minute ago, I hope to you. She's denying the Holocaust. She's an anti-Semite. Now, I'm here to tell you, I think she's too stupid to understand what it is she's saying. I really do. It doesn't mean she's not denying the Holocaust and she's not anti-Semitic. But let me tell you, Ben Shapiro got her fired. There's no doubt about that. Oh, I have no control over it. Give me a freaking break. I wouldn't want that person working for me. Would you want a Holocaust denier? Oh, free speech. Fine. She's got free speech. She could say this stuff. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be allowed to say it. But I wouldn't want her working for me. I wouldn't want to pay her to spread Holocaust denial and anti-Semitism. That's sick. So all of you out there with your cowardly DMs to me yesterday about and this wasn't just yesterday. I've been hearing from people about this for weeks because I've been talking about her from time to time. You call me on the air and confront me, or apologize to me, or admit you were wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Let me play it one more time, and then we'll break. Candace Owens, Holocaust denial.
Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
Sounds like bizarre propaganda. Are you freaking kidding me? They're eyewitness accounts. The freak is going on here? And I'm really concerned about this because I'm hearing other new people that are so-called conservatives, that are millennials, that talk this way. They don't understand. It's not just about her. There's other millennials that are not supporting Israel either. And they may be conservative, but they've been educated with these Obama weirdos in the education system by these liberal lunatics at the colleges. in the liberal curriculum, and they think they've overcome it because, oh, I know about Reagan. You don't know squat if you're saying stupid stuff like that. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. That's sick stuff. Sick stuff. 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be back.
Making morning radio great again.
I'll be right back, guys. William, thank you.
Good morning, Brian. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm from Orlando. It took 3 hours to go down there. Took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walked straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yeah, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on the train for 24 hours. And I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com.
And now, a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. Back. Dog days of summer are upon us. AC is running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill is gone up even better. Radiant barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain. Lower the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees. Cutting that bill by up to 40%. Dog days of summer saves 50% on radiant barrier and insulation. Insulation removal, rack proofing. We even do AC ducts for the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and
They said it.
$1,000 off.
Only citizens can vote for the presidency of the United States. So this extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill is not designed to...
Talk to the owner, Scott. It's 954-939-1500. CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone. Work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned, family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denzel, Scott, and their
Hypotheticals. It is under attack right now
right here with this very bill. Republicans want to throw up barriers because when people vote, they lose.
Three of the people that sent me messages yesterday giving me crap about Candace are in the chat room right now. Three of them. Let's see if any of them have manned up. Three of them. Yep. I'm not going to call them out. Maybe they're on the phone. There's callers on hold. We'll find out.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, 36 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you just tuned in, you've missed a lot. I'll recap the New York stuff throughout the show today because that's a big story. Our number 1-888-465-2631. I'm wondering if any of these callers on hold or any of these keyboard warriors that want to apologize to me for their nasty, arrogant, anonymous messages that they give me off the air. We'll find out, maybe. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
No, it's not Richie. It's not Richie. Richie was not one of the keyboard cowards.
No, no. Thank God for you. Thank God for you sticking up. And it's a shame that you have to stick up for Israel. It's a shame that these idiots out there, including conservatives out there, don't realize anything. See, Brian is of the age where he saw a lot of people with tattoos. I got to tell you one quick story. I mean, this isn't a denial. In Century Village in Pembroke Pines, there was a little old Jewish man who used to ride the bus, and he spoke with a Russian accent, and it was a very thing. One thing about him, he was a professional dance teacher. Do you know what he had? One thing missing. He was missing his right arm, and I talked to him. His whole family was killed, and when they in the concentration camps, and at the end of the war, they didn't want any witnesses to this, to their atrocities, Candace Owens, and they didn't want any witnesses, so they went out there and machine gunned every Jew that was laying there. They just opened up.
Yeah, and they were killing Jews when the Allies were down the street. And I've mentioned this many times. When I was younger, you go to Publix, all those old men bag boys, half of them had the tattoos on their wrists from the camps. Candace Owens is a sick, twisted, stupid woman. And she should not be elevated in conservative circles as a voice for any. We don't want Holocaust deniers advocating for our issues. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, this guy was shot in the arm. He ran through the forest. He was saved by Russian troops. Okay, believe it or not, he ended up going to Israel and then he came to the United States. You got to understand that they're just now they find out that the funding for these marches, a lot of it's coming out of Iran, who hates America, hates Jews. Muslims, just the propaganda, the teaching in the colleges, they've taken over everything. They've taken over Europe. Look what happened in France. It goes on and on.
Exactly.
Muslims are taking, you might say, you can't talk like that because you're anti-Muslim. Well, I hate to tell you that. We had one in the...
I mean, look at, by the way, 3 of these jerks that gave me grief about this thing yesterday are in my live chat right now. And let's see, you're not one of them. Let's see if any of them are the other guys on hold. Biden's having his big boy NATO press conference today about Ukraine. Let me tell you something. You worry about, he's going to go after Poland. You're not going after squat. 2 NATO countries have fallen in the last 2 weeks. France and England have fallen. They've been taken over. They're NATO. They're founding members of NATO, and they've both. There's an Antifa guy that got elected in France this week. An Antifa. Both of those countries. You're worried about NATO countries. 2 of them have fallen, and are their prime ministers going to be there with Biden? No, they're not.
Oh, matter of fact, they teamed up against people that wanted to, you called everything when you were against a group. I guess if the Nazis were in full force and you were against the Nazis, you'd be called out on that one too. It's amazing how they revise history, because as people die off, they decide they're going to put their propaganda in there and they're going to change the world.
And I know. Some people, you may think I'm obsessing over Candace. It's not Candace Owens. There's a movement in this country that is polluting our country with this garbage, okay? And it's courtesy of Barack Hussein Obama.
Exactly right. That's what I was going to tell. I just told you that. He was in the White House as the President of the United States. And I'm sorry, if he wasn't a Muslim, he sure had Muslim ideas and communist ideas. This guy is still nose into the politics. And one other thing. You got a Democratic Party eating themselves before our eyes, and they always tell you people are not interested in politics till after Labor Day.
Yeah.
They're exposed. They're eating themselves, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. People wake up, for the God's sake, please.
Yeah. All right, Richie, take care. Appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy, not one of the keyboard cowards. Where are the keyboard cowards? All right, go ahead, Tracy. Where are you calling from?
Well, I actually posted a few comments, but I wasn't on here yesterday. I'll answer any questions that you have.
Who are you? What, am I supposed to interview you? Who are you? What do you mean? Why do I have questions for you? I don't know who you are.
You got to get hostile with me?
Well, I don't understand. You call up and say, do you have questions for me? Why would I have questions for you?
I was prefacing that you could rebut me.
Rebut you? You said your name's Tracy. What am I...
All I did was...
Well, preface... I want you to... Wait, listen. Fridays is open phones. People can talk about whatever they want.
You're the one that's wasting time.
I'm not. I'm wasting time. I might agree with you. Talking to you so far is a waste of time.
You know what? All I did is give a little preface.
Well, then say something of Say something of content. Say something of content. This is another divorced woman, I bet.
If you would allow me to, maybe.
All right, stop whining. Say something.
I'm not whining.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to World War II, the vast majority of Jews moved from Germany to America. It's on record in Congress. The Holocaust has been proven a lie.
Oh my gosh. Are you? What are you call? What? Slow down. Hold on. You said where are you calling from? You in America or Canada or something? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. You said, excuse me. Now I want to slow down. I want to slow down, Ava Braun. Okay, if you don't mind. All right. Yeah, I'm not talking to Nazis. I will let anything fly. I'm not talking to Nazis. I'm just not going to do it. Okay, not going to happen. It's one thing if we're talking about the issues. I am not talking to Nazis. She said she would be proud to be Ava Braun. My goodness. I'm not going to rebut you. Lose my number, lady. Sicko. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Renee from Harlem.
Oh, my goodness. The black Nazi.
Yes. Do you know it's illegal to get a DNA test in Israel?
No, I don't know that.
Look it up.
So what? So what?
So what? All right, well, be quiet and let me tell you why.
because they know they are not Israelites.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're talking about, slow down a second. Okay. Slow down a second, Renee. Slow down. Okay? What we're talking about today is this sick woman, Candace Owens, who's a Holocaust denier. This is not some random thing to start denying that Jews are Jews and Israel and all this stuff. If you want to talk about Candace Owens and her anti-Semitism and her Holocaust denial, we'll talk about that. But we're not going to talk about the genes of Israelis. Not going to happen.
You know, you are so busy editing the calls that
I'm not editing squat. This is live. We're not talking about the sovereignty of Israel and the genes of Jews. I haven't done anything.
me off. You dumb.
Oh my goodness. I should cut you off. It's not open phones. Renee, it is not open phones. Open phones is Friday. We're not talking about the people of Israel. We're not talking about the people of Israel. Oh my goodness. Is this Ava Braun back? You're on the air.
Brian, it's Ben from Bob.
Oh, Ben. Oh, good. I thought it was going to be Ava Braun calling back.
I think I've never seen an issue in my time that brings out all the cockroaches from all sides if you mention anything having to do with Jews. It's so unbelievable. Yeah, that Ava Braun woman, she's an inbred moron. Okay, I honestly, this is the one thing you talk.
Well, first off, hold on a second. First off, on reflection, and then I'll let you say what you were going to say. I don't think Ava Braun. I think Ava Braun was a seminar caller. Now that I think about it, you know that the Democrats send out, and all the seminar callers always claim to be calling from Kentucky, and I point this out all the time. So she very well could have been a seminar caller, and she was probably going to tell us she's a big MAGA person, right? Ava Braun MAGA. I don't know, but did you hear the clip I played of Candace Owens to get back on track?
I saw it. I know exactly.
Let me play it for people that may have missed it, and for you, and then I want to hear your comments on this. This is from a podcast of hers. It's like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. It's within the last 2 weeks. Okay, she's talking about Mingala.
Innocent people, Candace. Come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
Mingala sounds like bizarre propaganda. Is that Holocaust denial?
I don't know. I've never seen someone fall so quickly. She expends an inordinate amount of energy and time on talking about Hitler and Jews. She's become obsessed with it. And she's, like, first off, Candace, other people don't think like you. There are some people, well, I'm starting to think maybe she does think like some of these people, but there's people out there who are sick, they're twisted, and they're evil, and there's political systems which incentivize these sickos to rise to the top. Dr. Mengele was one of them. They rewarded his behavior. And so just because you can't conceptualize why someone might slice someone else open doesn't mean they're not going to do it. She's absolutely lost the plot. She's, I don't know. I really honestly don't know. She's like going down the same route Kanye is. She's completely torpedoed.
Well, and listen, there's a major wave of anti-Semitism in this country. We saw it after the attack on Israel, and that's why I exposed this. By the way, I'm not a Jew. Okay, I'm not Jewish, I am a Christian. I am Catholic. But this is, you don't have to be a Jew to stand up against anti-Semitism, just like you don't have to be black to fight against racism. Okay, so this is very sick and twisted, and I don't want Holocaust deniers being propped up and being speakers at conservative events like CPAC or the RNC or Turning Point USA. People need to be aware of this. We don't want Holocaust deniers like her being voices for our movement.
Balloon, and that's exactly what Democrats want, so they can tie us to the most radical, extreme element of, like, you know, they're not even part of this movement. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They want to discredit the whole movement by tying us in with sickos and psychos like that Ava Braun who.
Oh my goodness! Can you believe that?
My jaw dropped when I heard that woman. You know, she's like you get these same conspiracy theorists. They all say the same thing. You know, whether it's like flat earthers or whether it's people who are Holocaust deniers, they all come at you like, you know, we're all idiots. They have the truth. We've all been duped by history, and we need to sit down and listen up. And if Renee is agreeing with you, agreeing with you, you know you got a problem. Renee is a psychopath, and you know what? Like if you're in with someone like him, you should.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'll talk to almost anyone, but I do not talk to Nazis or Klansmen. Okay, I just don't. You know, I would not legitimize them. You know, that woman's mind is so far gone. Why have a dialogue with her? I mean, you know, I was about to with the stupid thing she said in the beginning, but when I called her Ava Braun and she said she'd be proud to be Ava Braun, that's it. I'm not talking to her. And I'm certainly not going to let her try to pass herself off as MAGA, which I guarantee you that's where that idiot was going.
She can't be a part of this movement, especially one of the most pro-Israel presidents we've ever had in this country. You know, you can't tie yourself in with him. We're not going to let you. And, I mean, man, I don't know if she's a regular listener or not, but...
I don't want her to listen to me. Do not listen to me, Ava Braun. Do not listen to me. Listen to Candace Owens. You and her agree.
Yeah. I mean, this is a real, inflection point in our history because we've seen the anti-Semitism. I don't know if you follow this guy on Lucas Cage on Twitter.
Listen, I'm like 7 minutes late for the break, but thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Okay, take care. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you are looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads.
Oh my gosh.
Love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right. After the top of the hour, which we're almost to now, I'm going to have a freaking stroke. My blood pressure must be so high right now. I can feel my blood pressure high. I'm going to get into the politics after. My wife just sent me an article. New York Post wrote about Candace Owens in this garbage. I mean, I can tell my blood pressure is through the roof because I can feel it in my head. I might have to take my MAGA hat off to loosen the pressure up on my head. I'm not kidding. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. I think, listen, you need to relax, okay? If you have blood pressure, you need to stop listening to Candace Owens and stop your obsession. You are Catholic. She is a Catholic. I think you are evangelist, that you think that you're going to end up being in Jerusalem, and the Jewish people, they're going to go to hell. What is this with you?
What?
I'm calling you.
What? I'm sorry, you have kind of an accent, so but you said.
And we have an accent.
What's your, no, so, excuse me, because of your accent, it's hard for me to understand all your words, but you did say, you said something about my obsession. What's my obsession?
You're obsessed.
What's my obsession?
Don't look, don't hear. You're obsessed. You and your wife want every day, Candace Owens. Candace Owens has a problem because there is this rabbi who has harassed her about saying to Ben Shapiro, oh, please.
Wrong. Okay, slow down. Slow down. Okay. No, not any. Excuse me. So what? Because no, I'm Catholic. Because no. By the way, okay, I'm not your husband. Okay, you're not. We're gonna talk. Okay, or I'll do what he did. Leave you to yourself. Candace. Oh, excuse me. I said I'm not your husband. You're not gonna overtalk me, or I'm gonna leave. Okay, you by yourself. And
relax.
I'm sorry when there's Holocaust deniers being paraded around as conservative voices during an election year. I'm going to call them out. All right, Candace Owens. I used to think until this crap that she hates Ben Shapiro, which I understand. I don't like Ben Shapiro. I agree with him on Israel, but I don't like the guy. And I thought she had transferred her dislike of Ben Shapiro to Jews in general. That rabbi that's after her, but I was wrong. In fact, I've said this several times, even this week. I was wrong. Ben Shapiro got rid of her at the Daily Wire because she's an anti-Semite. Now she's a Holocaust denier, and that rabbi is calling her out because he knows that what she's all about.
5 years ago, that this rabbi is like harassing her, and I wanted to.
Well, maybe they were on to her years ago. I never paid much attention to her.
No. But listen to me. If you say do not fund Ukraine, and by the way, do you know Zelensky is Jewish? But if you criticize Netanyahu, or you're what? You can't.
Israel and Ukraine are two different things. Israel and Ukraine are two different things. Well, I have less than a minute until the break, so I can't give you the whole history of the Jewish people and anti-Semitism. But Zelensky and Ukraine is a fake war. Okay, Israel was established in 1948 so that if some Nazis came to power again, Jews would have a place to be safe and not be exterminated in camps. Okay? That's why Israel exists. And what Iran is doing through Hamas and other groups is trying to complete the Holocaust that Hitler, we stopped him from completing. There's a big difference. The Ukraine war is fake.
Yeah, I agree with you. But the thing is that if you have the right to criticize, because even
I didn't say she doesn't have the right to be an anti-Semite, but I have the right to call her out on it. Thank you for your call. If you're on hold, stand by. I really do. My blood pressure, it's bad. We'll be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miracle, WIRK 103.1 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane
I gotta calm down, guys.
From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the True Oldies Weather Service. Today is July 11th, 2024. Right now, it's about 75 degrees outside, and it's going to reach about 85 degrees later throughout the day. It is going to be a stormy day today, so just keep an umbrella handy and close by. And be safe for your good rest of the Thursday morning.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Turnpike at 95 north and south through Jupiter, Palm Beach, West Palm, and Lake Worth. Lake Worth Construction, 6th Avenue south from Grove Street to Commerce Avenue. You can use 10th Avenue north as your alternate. This traffic update is sponsored by Lowe's. Don't miss up to 70% off select major appliances at the Lowe's closeout event. But hurry, these deals are too good to last because Lowe's knows savings.
Tremendous wasted on time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight tournament happening July 11th through the 14th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area.
Come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. Tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
Someone's on your doorstep and is trying to look for a way into your home. If no one is monitoring your home, then you need to call Sloman's now. Sloman's is giving you a free $1,500 value home security system with professional installation. You use their low-cost central station monitoring. Call 1-833-283-5050.
Do you guys mind if I take my hat off? Because my blood pressure is really high, and I can feel it like right here in my head.
A lifetime service plan, professional installation, and backup battery. Call 1-833-283-5050, and you'll also get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. That's 1-833-283-5050. Sloman's, the difference is human. When you need lab work, don't waste
If you're on hold, hang in there.
at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. You know, that last hour, I know my blood. I do not have high blood pressure, by the way. I used to a few years ago. I had high blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure now, but I know what it feels like when my blood pressure is high, and it's really high right now. And I just took my MAGA hat off and sat it down next to the control board because I wanted to take the pressure off of my head. Talking to these bizarre, twisted women in the last hour, my goodness. If you're on hold, stand by. I had no intention on talking about this for more than 5 minutes. let me just play the clip one more time for people that are just tuning in. New York Post has a whole story about this today. I didn't even know. New York Post, I tweeted it. Candace Owens denied the Holocaust on a recent podcast episode. She's talking about Dr. Mengele.
People, Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
That sounds like bizarre propaganda because they're Nazis. And there's people calling me that are like backing her up. What the hell? You know, Candace Owens was recently at a Turning Point event with Charlie Kirk and some good people. I don't want her at any of our events. Do you? No. Our movement is the most effective conservative movement in the history of this country, and it's only beginning with the re-election of Trump to a second and non-consecutive term, and we don't need it messed up by idiots that deny the Holocaust. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I'm completely in agreement. You cannot be a conservative and be a Holocaust denier. That is absolutely ridiculous. I remember in school seeing those pictures when our soldiers found those concentration camps, and these people that saw death were weeping because of the skin and bones of the people that they saw, children and women, just on the verge of death, and they were crying. And for anyone to deny that, they have pictures, black and white, of all of the horror of what they did, and over 6 million Jews slaughtered.
And remember President Trump. And I'm not talking about the white supremacists. They should be condemned, right? When you're talking about Nazis, we don't want them anywhere near our movement. They can destroy it.
You know, when Candace Owens was with Charlie Kirk with TPUSA going to college campuses, she was on fire with him. And what happened to her? I remember the first time she said something negative to Trump in an interview, and I went, what's going on with her? And she left Charlie Kirk, and then she just went off the deep end. And like we said yesterday, she's in love with herself. She wants to be relevant and important and popular, and she has destroyed herself.
Absolutely. Well said, Jeff. Take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, conservative.
Hey, Doug.
You know, I don't know what's going on, but Candace Owens decided to destroy herself. You know, she did a Bud Light. You know, they come up the ladder, they get up there, and then all of a sudden they decide to say anything they want and wreck their career. Unbelievable. But, you know, this is just what's going on. I don't know why something's in the water or something making people do crazy things these days, but she's ridiculous to say that. You know, I talked to a woman who had the insignias on her arm from being in the concentration camp. How the hell can everybody say there was no Holocaust?
Mm-hmm.
They're insane. Anyway, back to the New York win for Trump. You know, what was it that Clinton said? Is the economy stupid? You know, everybody is hurting from the economy. I just got gas yesterday, and as I got gas, I said, wow, it went up like 25 cents a gallon. And I said to the guy in front of me, did you thank Joe Biden? He said, yeah, unbelievable. So everybody is feeling the pain.
Yeah.
I think President Trump is certainly going to maybe win all 50 states, and that's what I'm hoping. If everybody in America is feeling the way everybody else feels, you can't not vote for him. You have to vote for him.
Yeah.
The only thing they try to say, oh, he lies all the time, but they never say.
That's exactly right. All right, Doug, I appreciate the call. All right, now I want to, You're welcome to call about this still. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm going to call out anti-Semites. I'm going to call out Holocaust deniers when they are people that have made their way into our movement. We cannot have people like this in our movement. Don't you understand? This idiot Candace Owens could screw us in an election, this one or the next one. She was just at an event that Charlie Kirk put on with a lot of the top conservative women. So she's part of the conservative brand today. And when this garbage gets out to liberals, oh, they're going to love it. They're going to make her full core MAGA, even though she's trash Trump. Now, I want to get to what happened in Congress yesterday over this voting with the illegals. Let me play this. This is Hakeem Jeffries.
Only citizens can vote for the United States Senate. Only citizens can vote for the presidency of the United States. So this extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill is not designed to solve any problem on behalf of the American people. It is designed to jam people up and prevent Americans from voting.
Oh, my goodness. See, Americans from voting. Somebody illegals. Okay, there's a lot to discuss here. Or as they say on Fox, there's a lot to unpack here. Enough of that. Oh, my goodness. They get these catchphrases, the pundits. It used to be the notion that. Then they started with this, a lot to unpack here. What's that one thing they say about actors, unfriendly actors or something? I don't know. Bad actors, that's another one. A couple things to say here, okay? One, what he said at the end. Let me rewind it just to the end. Hakeem Jeffries.
To jam people up and prevent Americans from voting.
Prevent Americans from voting. I've been telling you guys for years that the left are changing the definition of Americans, right? If you are a citizen of the United States, we're Americans, right? Yeah. But now what they've done is everyone from the Americas is an American. Canadians, according to the Democrats, are Americans because they live in North America. We're not United States of Americans, we're Americans, right? If you're in the Falkland Islands, right off the coast of Argentina and South America, you're an American. You're in South America. The Bahamas, 50 miles away from us here. If you're in the Bahamas, the Caribbean is part of the Americas. If you're in the Bahamas, you're an American. If you're in Central America in one of those hellholes, you're an American now. I live in Palm Beach County. We've got an election coming up. What would happen to me if I went and voted in Broward County? You know, I moved to Palm Beach County and had to re-register to vote. What would happen if I jumped the border to Broward County? If I jumped the border to Broward County from Palm Beach County and voted in November, what would happen to me? I'd go to jail. So why can't I jump the border from Honduras or Venezuela or some other third world pit of hell run by drug cartels and warlords and come to America and vote in our elections? You know, the Democrat insurrection against the United States, which is commonly known as the U.S. Civil War, that insurrection has never begun, or has never ended, I should say. They're still doing it, the Democrats. I live in Boca. The radio station is in Palm Beach Gardens. When we have our elections in November, there's municipal elections and county commission elections. If I go and vote in Palm Beach Gardens, but I live in Boca, what's going to happen? It's in the same county. Get arrested. It's against the law. So why can some MS-13 guy come in here who's a slaver bringing in sex slaves? Why can he vote? He's illegal in the country. What? I mean, give me a break, Hakeem Jeffries. And this other idiot, what's her name? Another Democrat Congressman, Summer Lee. Sounds like a stripper name, Summer Lee. Summer Lee. This is Summer Lee, another Democrat, talking yesterday.
Hypotheticals. It is under attack right now, right here with this very bill. Republicans want to throw up barriers because when people vote, they lose. Let me be clear. They don't want you to vote.
Yeah, we don't want people that are not citizens of the United States to vote. Hakeem Jeffries is in New York. Can I get together with a couple thousand MAGA people and go vote in his district in New York? No, it would be illegal. We'd go to jail. Because we're not residents or citizens of New York or his district in New York. Why is this even being debated? When I talked about my blood pressure being high today, I was not exaggerating. I could feel it now, like in the side. I got to cool off. Maybe I'll talk about puppies and kitty cats when we get back from the break, because this stuff today, I don't let the news aggravate me too much. For the very reason now, if I got this aggravated every day, I'd be dead. Okay, how long could I live like this? But these stories that I've been talking about for the last hour and 15 minutes or so are very, except that great one out of New York with Trump, which I'm going to recap in a bit. But this Hakeem Jeffries and Summer Lee, oh my goodness, saying that South Americans are Americans and illegal South Americans should be able to vote in our federal elections? Who would say that publicly? A Democrat, I guess. All right. Our number is 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name's Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, it's Katie from Will For You. I'm announcing our annual summer sale on all of our in-stock flooring. For 41 years, this has always been the time to buy your new floor at the absolute best price. In-stock means we have it on hand. Pricing is the best on these floors because we buy it in bulk from America's finest manufacturers. No waiting, and we can usually get it installed within a few days. Choose from luxury vinyl plank as low as $1.44 a square foot and waterproof laminate from $2.99 a square foot and plush or Berber carpet as low as 99 cents a square foot. Multiple styles and colors to select from. Get the perfect new floor for way less than you imagine. Visit our store outlet on Monroe Street for some deals and steals in our carpet remnant room. For the best selection, visit us soon in Jupiter at the corner of Indiantown Road and alternate A1A next to Publix, in Stewart on Monroe Street and Federal Highway, and Will Floor, the letter U, FLA.com. Will Floor, your hometown floor store that has it all.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith. We love our Florida sunshine, but a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for
Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldie.
All right. 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay. I'm so... I remember once I got this aggravated. If you just tuned in, you missed a whole heck of a lot. Okay? I had a couple of the sickest, most twisted callers I've ever had to the program in the first hour. And that's saying a lot because I've talked to a lot of lowlifes and scumbags over the years. Okay? But I remember one time when I got like this with the blood pressure on the air, when I was like this, I was talking to one of these animal callers, like these idiots I talked to in the first hour, and my nose started bleeding. I haven't gotten that far yet. That was awful. But you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to take a break today. I'm going to go home and I'm going to lay down on my bed on my 3-inch MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0. You know, the Mattress Topper 2.0, I want to talk about this one. It's absolutely amazing. The MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0 is a 3-inch mattress topper. It's 40% off and free shipping, by the way, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0 is a 3-inch mattress topper. It has the that cooling technology in the, or I'm sorry, it's not cooling, it's temperature regulating technology in the material, which perfectly regulates your body temperature. No matter, so if it's hot, you're perfectly cool. If it's cold, you're perfectly toasty. It's amazing. And this 3-inch mattress topper, the cover has the temperature regulating material in it. It has the premium MyPillow support foam. It has a nano coil edge with a center zone for active support and cooler, more comfortable sleep. And it's like sleeping on a cloud. It is 40% off. Okay? There's many different types of mattress toppers. I'm talking about the MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0. It's a 3-inch mattress topper. It's the one I sleep on. It's on my marital bed. And it's 40% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You get free shipping because it's free shipping on all orders over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout. It comes with a money-back guarantee. Isn't that amazing? And a 10-year warranty. It's absolutely amazing. By the way, that cover is washable and dryable. So go to mypillow.com. I'm serious about that. I'm going to go lay down on that when I get home. If I had it here at the radio station, I'd go lay down on it in the other room during the break. But I'm going to go home, and that'll, it's like a massage. It'll just relax me perfectly. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. All right. I'm going to go back to the phones. Please try. I don't care if you're weird and all that stuff. I don't mind. But I'm still feeling a little pressure in my head. I'm trying to put that, if I can keep the headphones off the top of my, I can't. I got to put them up there. I'll loosen them up a little bit. I've taken my MAGA hat off to relieve the weight and the pressure. But please try to limit your conversation to things that I have brought up since 6. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's Open MAGA Mike Friday. Today's Thursday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Brian.
Yes?
All right, Brian, this is B from New York.
Hey, B.
All right. Number one, relax. Settle down. When you have your break, take some deep breaths, okay? We need you.
Did you hear that Ava Braun lady that called?
I heard part of it.
Oh my goodness.
Coffee.
I mean, if Nazis had your phone number, you wouldn't be pissed off? I mean, you know.
Brian, let me tell you something. And before I get into what I want to talk about, because I don't speak well when I call.
You're doing well. You're doing great.
Brian, to be human, you need to feel love for those around you, and you need compassion. And do not let this get to you, because you have a lot of them calling in that they're not human.
No, they're not. They're subhuman. I do not have love for Nazis. That woman is twisted. That was and by the way, almost all the calls in the first hour were sick. Almost all of them. That lady at the end, oh my goodness. With the accent?
They're not human.
No.
They're not human qualities. Okay. Now getting into what I want to say. Some years back, and I gave the book away. I can't even remember the title of it. I'm very much a reader. I'm very much in the history as you are. Okay. I read where the plan was to do away with the name country. That there would no longer be country used. It would be provinces. And that North America would be the North American province. And that North American province would include the United States, South America, I can't remember whether Mexico was included or not, and they were going to try to get Canada into it.
Yeah.
That would be the North American province.
Well, this is my question for these lunatics. You know, when the United States is wiped out, who's going to pay for all this globalism crap? We pay for everything, right? We're paying for Europe. We're paying for South America. We're paying for all the losers here, like Renee from Harlem. You know, call me like, you know. I mean, who's going to pay for everything when they do away with us Americans? How are they going to fund all this stuff?
Because they're not thinking. They're so full of hate. Dude, I mean, let's face it. You have someone that was in a concentration camp, and they were fortunate enough to come over here and get a job, and even if they were bagging groceries, and they lift up their arm, and you can see the camp identification on the arm. Are they? What do they do? Think these people go around and stamp themselves?
And where'd all the Jews go? The 6 million, where'd they go? Candace Owens. What you know? I'm so glad that I'm so glad the New York Post wrote about this, because I didn't know that the New York Post had an article about what she did, and I'm so glad they did, that it's not just me, because all the conservatives read that, and she needs to be forbidden from being to any of our conservative groups. She was at this thing that Charlie Cook put together a few weeks ago that had all the top conservative women. I'm not saying their names. You guys can look it up, because I don't want to connect them to her. She needs to be done, gone, never invited again.
She's destroying herself.
Well, or she's building up a mass following of Muslims. I don't know.
That could be too, because
I'm serious. I'm not kidding.
they decide that they want to be with the side that's going to come out as the winner. And they don't want to be on the side that will be considered the loser. So they're going over to the winnings.
Well, and I will give her this. She is living in an Islamic country now. She lives in England. Hey, listen, I got to run. Thank you for the call and the compliments. All right, take care. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is
Unbelievable.
from the True Oldies Weather Service. Today is July 11th, 2024. Right now, it's about 75 degrees outside, and it's going to reach about 85 degrees later throughout the day. It is going to be a stormy day today, so just keep an umbrella handy and close by. And be safe for your good rest of the Thursday morning.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
See, yours sounds like his.
Yeah, clear oomph to it, you know. I like when it has a
sound.
You know, even if you're, Adobe Audition takes very little computer space and energy. So even if you have like an old laptop and you can get Adobe Audition on there, I'm not saying I don't want to. I'll do that, but you can do more things too. You know, understand what I'm saying?
Well, when I mean like old, like laptop, like it like turns off randomly.
Need a new laptop. Mike needs a new laptop.
Which is why I just use my
okay.
supercomputer instead. You know?
Yeah, because there's a lot of other production you can do with it.
So it's like you'd rather have the. I know I can't bring my whole computer in here, but that's why I'm going to use out my computer because it's fast. I can be able to work with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to just stop.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit. In HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the East and West Coast of Florida. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Are you exhausted?
All right, we'll be back after this.
No energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and depression making your daily life feel far more difficult than it should? Men, do you feel like you are aging far beyond what you should? Is your sexual life and relationship suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action and let our medical team at Lighthouse Medical Center help you stop the symptoms that are holding you back. We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problematic symptoms. Our family-owned practice has had the honor of serving our South Florida community for over 71 years. Call us right now and let our medical team get you optimized and feeling the way that you should. Life is too short to be running at less than 100%. You and your family deserve the best version of you. Call us at 754-222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Is that not insane? This show's been on the air so long. I used to listen to this show when I was in high school. I'm going to tell you guys that sometimes. That's true. Steve was on in the afternoons 2 to 6, and I got out of school at 2:35, and I had an AM radio in my car. I had, what was that car I had? A Chevy Cavalier, and it was not a new one. It was an old one. No, it wasn't a Cavalier. A Chevy Citation. Google Chevy Citation and look at the pictures. Oh, my goodness. And mine was not new, like the one you'll see when you Google it. And it only had an AM radio in it. And let's go to the phones. Let's see here. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, how you doing, Brian? This is Robert from Tampa, Florida.
Hey, Robert in Tampa.
Yes. So I want to talk about Candace Owens, okay? And like you said, Candace Owens cannot be with us anymore. I mean, I used to like her, you know? And ever since they kicked that out of Daily Wire, and then she spoke very badly about Steven Crowder, and I just lost hope for her. I just lost.
Well, now we know. Well, now we know why they got rid of her. You know what she said, which I'm going to play. I'm going to play again for people that may just be tuning in, so they understand. I don't want you to think we're just obsessing. You'll be able to hear it too, caller. All right, so hang in there. And there's an article in the New York Post about this, which I'm so happy that that's in there. So it's not just me. I want as many people as possible to know this. Candace Owens has now moved into the realm of Holocaust denial.
Innocent people. Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
Yeah, that was their podcast just a few days ago. And you guys, if you could tweet that article and tag Charlie Kirk. Charlie, I'm sure he knows about it, but I think he needs to know about it that you're upset about it.
And, you know, she's just trying to be relevant, okay? She's just trying to be, she's pandering now to the millennium, if you really think about it. And she's claiming she's not a feminist. It's going to come out that she's a feminist. It's going to come out very, very soon.
Yeah.
The feminist. Because she doesn't like men. You know, she happens to be married, but she's married to a beta male, if you really think about it. She's married to a beta male.
See, you know, this is the thing. Just a couple weeks ago, this event that she was at had the top MAGA women in the country speaking at it, and she was up there with them, okay? And I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to be an anti-Semitic Holocaust denier. It's America. You have the right to say whatever you want, right? But I don't want her connected to our great MAGA women at more events. I don't want her connected to our move. Listen, President Trump, I'm going to tell you something. President Trump, this time next year, the mass deportations of illegals are going to be happening. And do you really think we need a Holocaust denier like her talking about our movement when they're going to give us a lot of resistance to that, and they're going to call us Nazis, and they got one. I know it seems crazy that she's black and a Nazi, but she's a black Nazi. And we don't need her to be, they'll make her the face of our movement.
Trump made her, actually. You see, like you and I, anytime anybody talks bad about Trump, I just think you just don't love his country. You just don't. You just don't.
Absolutely.
And Trump made her, right?
Let me ask you, what kind of accent do you have? This is not a Tampa Bay accent.
It's not a Tampa Bay accent. By the way, I'm an African.
You're African, okay. Okay, you're from Africa. You know, there's this idea that, and the Democrats are very confused by this, that immigrants like you, they don't understand why you're not supporting an open border.
Open border, never. Because I mean, how can you have a house and don't have the door in it?
Exactly, and yeah, exactly.
You let people come into your house, and then you know one thing. There's some immigrants that come into this country, and they're really not grateful of being here.
Yeah. Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am a U.S. citizen.
Okay. What was it? 32 years. How long was the process for you to become a citizen?
Oh, well, it took me 8 years. Okay, for me to become a citizen. Then this was back then. My dad died. I couldn't go home. My dad died. I couldn't go home because I was so scared that if I go home, I would never come back into this country. But that is not see. I work for
8 years
now, see, and I'm so proud of this country. See, when they sing the national anthem, I have goosebumps. You know, because
that's awesome.
I'm getting from this country. You see, somebody's, you know, I don't know if you listen to Dennis Prager. Dennis Prager said, you know, how do you know you are a real true patriot? And he said, when they sing the national anthem and you have goosebumps, and I feel it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But moving away from that, Candace Owens, right? I took a picture with her. When she came to the, I work for the federal government, by the way. And I took a picture with her the other day. She was, pushing like she doesn't want to take a picture or whatever. And I said, I'm the, I support you and everything. But after all of this, when Trump was on the golf cart the other day saying that, that Kamala Harris is pathetic,
Mm-hmm.
Candace Owens was one of the first people that went online, and then she just totally dismissed that.
Yeah.
I said, who is this lady? Who is this? We don't need her in our movement, by the way. We don't need her. She needs to go.
That's right. Well, listen, it's it's an awesome thing. It took you 8 years to become a citizen. And when you came into the country, did they give you free phone, EBT card, and free rent and all that stuff? Did you? No, you didn't get all that free stuff. Oh, come on.
It actually took my brother 16 years.
Oh my!
For them. It took them 16 years.
16 years for your brother. Yeah.
Yes. And speaking about the border, by the way, I used to work at the border, at the border patrol. I used to work at the border. You say, I know what is going on in the border, right?
Really, you were a U.S. Border Patrol guy from Africa. That's crazy.
Way down there, yes. And I can't disclose what.
I understand.
But I know what is going on, and I know how much we spend at the border, right? I was in the Obama era. I was at the border because Obama said, you know what? When they come to the border, because back then they used to jump, okay? So they said, don't let him, just let him jump in so our numbers can go up.
Oh my goodness.
We used to scare them away, right, from the fence. We used to scare them away. Anytime they put a ladder there, we scare them away. But
How'd you scare them away? What'd you do to scare them away?
Obama said, "Don't scare them away."
No. When you scared them away, how did you scare them away? What did you do to scare them away?
We just show up, we just drive. We send the units down there.
Oh, okay. They see the Border Patrol car and then they go. Hey, listen, I got to run, but thank you for your call. You made some good points, and thank you so much. All right. Let's take another call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Lisa in Tennessee now.
Yes.
I'm so glad to hear you discussing this. It is upsetting, of course, about Candace. Horrific to hear Tracy call up and be so ignorant and naive and uninformed. And I just want the audience to remember that General Eisenhower made sure that they filmed everything.
That's right.
After the World War II ended there, and he made the people in the cities that turned a blind eye, to what was happening, walk through.
See, I don't want Candace Owens to be on stage with Laura Trump, the head of the RNC, again. Or those people. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this. It's not. I don't have any obsession with her, but she's insane. She's lost her mind, and she's getting into that territory where she could be used to do damage to our great movement, the MAGA movement. We don't want her anywhere near it. We don't want Holocaust deniers in our movement. It's going too well.
No, exactly right. I mean, and when I was a young person, a young teenager in the 70s, and I had many, many, many Jewish friends whose parents still had their numbers tattooed on their wrists who escaped camps. One of my girlfriends, both of her parents escaped Auschwitz. Or it wasn't Auschwitz, it was a different one, actually, where there was a big escape. And both of them lost their entire families, I might add, after their escape. She was burned, scalded from the neck down to her tops of her thighs.
Oh, my.
Anyway, it's just, what they did, and Mangala, Dr. Mangala, it should be somewhere. The experiments he did, he took live humans. He would try to put arms in their back or in their stomach, lamps out of skin. They'd make.
He was just a sick, twisted butcher serial killer. Is really what he was. I mean, that's it. And she says it sounds like propaganda. She says, how can you grow up in America and think that way?
Well, like you said, we've had the liberals The liberals, communists know how to filter into the middle of society, to corrupt from the middle. They didn't start at the top. They start at the middle. They start in the schools and then the universities, right? They start with all the programs, right? All these unelected people, right? And they brainwash. They delete history, and
well, it shows you, listen, there's a lot of people that are millennials that are equating our support of Israel to our support of Ukraine. And what I've learned is how even our conservative millennials have been brainwashed by Obama's terrible people that have infiltrated our education system at every level. And it's scary. It's scary. This millennial generation are starting to take over now because of the, like Mayor Pete's a millennial, right? He's Secretary of Transportation in Gatum or something. And, these people need to be properly informed and educated. If we've got millennials thinking this way that are conservative, we're in trouble. And this is very, very important what we're talking about today. Listen, I gotta run, but thank you for your call. All right, take care. Callers on hold, stand by. We're going to take our last break of this hour. We'll come back with more calls. I am going to recap in a bit this most amazing story about President Trump that I started the show with at 6 before Ava Braun's call. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group is on the line. Good morning, Attorney Barry Siegel.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us this morning?
All right. It's been such an honor to be, affiliated, working with you for so many years. I don't even know how long it's been. I've been calling in and sponsoring your show. But one of the things I was thinking about is through all these years, all these people who've come in, and I'm just talking about the Medicaid.
Steve, you there?
Yeah.
I was trying to. Lori said to call you. I was trying to call you.
Yeah, I just.
No. Wait, because I'm on the YouTube. I don't know if it's. We don't want everybody to know what you want to talk about. Let me answer your phone. I'll call you right back.
Okay. People have saved not spending down assets going to the nursing home, and instead they've been able to protect those assets so that those assets can be used for the care of the person, whether it's upgrading private rooms, if they're in a nursing home, having private duty aid, but just having that peace of mind that they have the assets and not spend down. And we talked many times about what happened to my grandmother, where she had to spend down her assets. We didn't know about Medicaid planning, so we're very proud that we've been able to protect so much benefits for so many families over the years.
That's right, and the Siegel Law.
I can't mute Steve. No, it's too much. There's too many mics to mute for a little thing like that. I can't mute them from you guys.
It is a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. You can find them online at SiegelLawGroup.com or give them a call toll free 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and the Siegel Law Group have offices from Dade County all the way up to North Palm Beach as well, but you can also meet with them over video calls, Zoom, etc., etc. Again, toll free 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week.
All right, I look forward to it. Thank you, Brian.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. It is almost 10 minutes to 8. Our number 1-888-465-2631. My headache has gone down a little bit. I'm still feeling some pressure in the head. But my blood pressure is still high, but not as high as it had gotten a little while ago. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Me?
Yes.
Hey, Brother Brian, IB.
Hey, IB.
I call you brother for a reason, because I love you like you love Trump, okay?
Okay.
And without you being that crappy AM radio car, Brian Craig would not exist. So I'm really thankful for that.
That is probably all true. That is all true. Everything you just said is all true.
And you also influenced the Rush. That's why you're my Rush. And I 2 years ago to do some George Costanza's father, Serenity Now.
All this sucking up will prolong the call for a little bit. So what's on your mind?
No, I mean that I didn't really have much to say today, but...
Oh, okay. All right. I appreciate that. I like a caller who says they got nothing to say. That's exactly right. Before I get back to the issues, there's a couple of small things I just want to mention. You know, the VP list, it got a little bit shorter yesterday. President Trump posted on Truth Social 2 negative things. One about 2 people on the list. One was on Burgum and one was on J.D. Vance. And he said something about J.D. Vance with the beard looking like Lincoln. It said in negative context. And President Trump also posted something about Burgum, who I thought was at the top of the list, but he posted something about his pro-abortion position, that Burgum has a pro-abortion position, which is a problem, Trump said yesterday. So who he's going to pick, we don't know, but Burgum looks like he's gone a little bit down on the list if he's even still on it. So it was a little surprising to me. The favorite right now, everybody that says, is Marco Rubio. I don't know. Nobody knows. But I thought that was interesting that President Trump posted that yesterday. There's 2 small things I just want to mention, though, before the top of the hour that are not for prolonged discussions. Ron DeSantis did not go to the Trump rally in Miami, which was disgusting. Disgusting. You know, I'm open to the idea of forgiving Ron DeSantis and trusting that snake again, okay? But every time he has an opportunity to do the right thing, he screws up. Didn't go to the lieutenant governor when he didn't. And they put new signs up welcoming people to Florida. And I wish these signs were up when I went to Georgia a couple weeks ago, because I would have stopped and taken a look. This sign pisses me off. Okay? And DeSantis is all behind this. They put up new Welcome to Florida signs when you enter Florida on the highway. And it says, "Welcome to the free state of Florida." What I would like to see on that sign is, "Welcome to the free..." This is what, you know, I don't like that word "should," but this is establishment Republicans got a lot of juice in Florida, okay? Jeb Bush is a party boss in the Republican establishment in Florida. This is a MAGA state, but Tallahassee, where our state legislatures are, Jeb Bush and the Trump-hating Bushies got a lot of pull, okay? And what I would like those signs to say is, "Welcome to the free state of Florida, home to the 45th President of the United States, Donald John Trump." And that's what should be on it. You know, President Trump is the only Floridian president we've ever had. I'm originally from Ohio. We had 10 presidents from Ohio. How many have been from New York? He's the only president from Florida, and there has been talk for a couple years about adding his name to the signs entering Florida. This is an FU by DeSantis and the Jeb Bush Republicans. They didn't put Trump's name on that. It's disgusting. A lot of states have multiple presidents, so you don't have room for all of them. We've got one, and we're going to have him again. Makes me sick. Another thing here, Mayor Giuliani, the creditors are coming after him. You know, he's declared bankruptcy, but they said he's still flush with cash or something. I don't know. Rudy Giuliani not only is an American war hero, he was the first hero on 9/11, followed by the heroes of Flight 93, where Beamer was at, that took the plane down in Pennsylvania and saved who knows who, the Capitol built, we don't know, but saved a lot of lives. Mayor Giuliani was the first hero of the war on terror, okay? Joe Biden, you know what Joe Biden was doing on 9/11? Hiding, like the rest of the Congress. The entire government, the entire Congress flew to military bases and hid out. Mayor Giuliani was on the front line of the war on terror. They didn't want him to go there. There was a command center after that first attack on the Trade Center in Midtown. He said, no, I'm going. Right? And he went down there and took charge. Everybody else was hiding. Dick Cheney was in a bunker. Bush was in the mountain out west. And Giuliani was at ground zero taking charge while the attack was still going on, by the way. And to treat him the way that he's been treated is a national embarrassment. It's a disgrace. And what's this thing where people are now, who are attorneys for people that aren't liked by the people in power, that all of a sudden they get arrested, they're in criminal court, they're in civil court, and all this crap. You know, serial killers and pedophiles and rapists have defense attorneys. Those attorneys know they're killers and rapists and pedos. Have you ever heard of one of those lawyers getting arrested and going to prison for being an attorney for a serial killer or a pedophile or a rapist? No. But Trump's attorneys, they're arrested, they're put in prison, their houses are broken into, their homes are broken into, they're forced into bankruptcy, they're disbarred. It's disgusting. CNN, a group of angry creditors are facing off Rudy Giuliani in bankruptcy court. This was yesterday. Since declaring bankruptcy, Giuliani has remained flush with cash, including being paid $75,000 for a documentary he's working on. And there's a bunch of other things too. My goodness. You know, what the hell's going on in New York? Now, in the next hour when Steve joins us, there's an article in Politico about the state of New York that I'm going to go. I opened the show with it at 6, but it's a big story, and I want to get into it in the next hour. But things are about to turn around in a big way in New York. And hopefully this blood pressure will calm down. I got my Starbucks, and my Starbucks coffee, the Cafe Americano, has 4 shots of espresso. I've had half of that since the show began at 6. And I already had another one of these before I came to the radio station, so I've had 6 shots of espresso. I've been, I know, isn't this great? I've had 2 shots of espresso since I talked to that Nazi in the first hour, Ava Braun, and I don't think that's good for my blood pressure. So it's... Hey, there was that one time I was telling Mike the board op about this when I collapsed on the air and had to call 911. It was great. You know, if you were listening, you heard it because I collapsed and nobody turned the mics off and the whole thing was on the air. Our board op at the radio station, we had a remote studio, wasn't listening and didn't know, and for like 45 minutes you could hear me and the paramedics work. It was great. It's great. If anybody has tape of that, let me know. I'll play it one day on a holiday. But I'll do some meditation during the break, try to calm down and get my blood pressure lowered. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take some calls after the top of the hour. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Call us on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back. Oh, Joe Thomas is here. We're going to talk to Jupiter Joe Thomas as well. We'll be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.9 105.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Morgan County on
What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful.
Hey, good. You know which mic we're gonna? Here's the mic for the YouTube.
Who is Candace Owens? I know.
She's a conservative.
The young,
person.
good-looking black girl?
Yeah, that's her.
Okay, yeah. I didn't think she was so.
She's not. Yeah, she's nuts. Did you have anything in particular you wanted me to bring up? I had a couple things I was going to ask you about.
Okay, you can ask me.
Because I was watching on your videos on Instagram.
Right. I just thought we talk about something different.
Yeah.
Testing.
Well, that's one of the ones I was going to ask about. Yeah, one of the things I was going to ask you about is right there.
Testing. 1 2 1 2. Testing. 1 2 1 2.
All right, perfect.
All right, cool. Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, one of the ones I was going to ask about, you got there. So.
Okay, cool. We'll just skip that then. We'll do that.
No, I want to ask. No, I want to ask you about. Yeah.
I just change it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like, people don't realize the protection levels they have with annuities. They can't basically be sued if you set up an annuity.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good. Okay.
So what's new, man?
Not much.
Everything?
Not much. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Cool.
Unless I have a stroke.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
That one guy. It's one guy I was talking to just a few years ago, and I was yelling at him, and my nose started bleeding.
No. You were so pissed off?
I was so mad. I'd never had that happen. People were like, oh my God.
That was the blood running
through my God.
Your brain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was nuts.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, callers on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. It is Thursday, July 11th already, and in studio we have Jupiter Joe Thomas. Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's up?
I want to talk to you about a couple of things here today, and I was thinking there were so many people today that with this gig economy that really are independent small business owners, even though they may not realize it, and they're 1099 people.
Right.
And there's also a lot of business people around there. And I was wondering, because one of the biggest problems that this group of people have is their taxes. They get, because they're 1099 employee, maybe they got, I know a guy, a friend of mine, who's retired, and he started doing this side thing to keep busy. And now all of a sudden it's making money, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, what I got to." Can you, with annuities, help people lower their tax burden a little bit?
Absolutely. You always hear that thing, and we did that video on Instagram. My son recorded for us, and it was, how do you pay yourself? Well, I say you need a tax write-off. If you're making any kind of money as a business owner, the first thing you should do is not pay yourself, but put money away in a tax-deferred annuity as a SEP, a simplified employee pension plan. It sounds complicated. It's not. It's an IRA for self-employed people. And that's what you need to do if you're a business owner. First, save your money and reduce your taxes. That's how you get more money.
And it's not just, it's not someone, because a lot of people say, well, wait a minute, I don't own a business. Like the rate. If you're a 1099 worker, you're a business person.
You are. You're self-employed.
That's exactly right. You may not know it. And a lot of people that are 1099 workers, they are in shock when they find out that they owe the IRS a lot of money, but through these things, there's ways that they can reduce that burden.
It's called a tax credit. So if you put $5,000 or $10,000, you're going to get a tax credit equal to your tax bracket.
That's amazing.
20% off, 30% off. I mean, it's a big deal.
That's big money.
Yeah,
That's big money. And a lot of people that are retired, like my buddy, that find themselves, a lot of guys that are successful, they can't retire. They got to have something going on, and then all of a sudden they're making some money, and they didn't count on having these tax bills when they were retired, and you can help them too.
I have a guy right now that's 79 years of age. He does stocks for a living. He trades stocks. He's made over $1 million a year for the last 5 years.
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
He called me up. He said, I'm 79. Can I do a retirement plan like you're talking about? I said, absolutely. There's only one condition. You must take an RMD, a required minimum distribution, because he's over age 73.
Yeah.
So this is what we specialize in, Brian. If people out there are thinking about doing something retirement-wise, asset protection-wise, these annuities do a lot of things that you just don't know they do.
There's another thing you had mentioned to me during the break, and a lot of people say, why does Trump get sued all the time? Well, because he's got money. People that get money are the ones that get sued. You don't sue broke people, they got no money. And you were talking, there's asset protection, which is lawsuit protection with annuities.
Yeah, so the state of Florida looks at an annuity as a retirement plan, and it's protected by a statute 222 in Florida, which says that if you have an annuity and you get sued, your money's protected, asset protection. So for people that have a car accident, let me tell you, lawyers love cash accounts, checking, savings, money markets. That's liquid money. That's non-qualified funds. They can go after that and attach it. An annuity cannot be attached. Also, it's going to be basically protected by law, that they can't touch it. I mean, it's pretty significant.
That's amazing.
It is.
You know, and you've talked about how people can leave annuities to their kids and their grandkids. And that's a good thing, because a lot of times people come into an inheritance and then guess what? They got a couple dollars, let's sue them.
Well, here's what happens a lot of times. There's 2 or 3 kids, and there's always one kid in the family that maybe mom or dad has a problem with, or the other kids have. Well, let me tell you about annuities. They cannot be contested. That means if you leave your money to 2 kids instead of 3, that other kid can't get the money, because there's always a bad apple somewhere. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So these things do a lot. And this is what we specialize in, Brian, and we've been doing it for years and years. And the reason we do it is because it's good for people. We make a living. I mean, it's just part of the deal, you know.
Well, one last thing I want to ask you about, because I bring this up to you from time to time, but I thinking about it in a different way, because everyone's situation is different. But I imagine, no matter what someone's financial position is, when they come to you and they're approaching retirement, they think about what their monthly expenses are. A lot of guys, they call it their nut. This is my monthly nut. And let me tell you, I've known a lot of very wealthy people. All they talk about is their monthly nut, right? Because you get that.
Yeah.
So when people come to you, how much do they need to retire? And annuities provide another revenue stream.
That's the most significant thing you can do if you're thinking about retirement. Know what your nut is first. How much do I need per month to live in? And the only thing that's going to solve that problem is guaranteed income. Social Security, a pension if you're lucky enough to have one, and an annuity provides guaranteed income. That you minus off what your guaranteed income is, minus what your nut is, and then you know if you have a plus or a minus.
But pensions are not as great as people think. They sound great when you're 20 years old, but when you're retiring, it's not as much money as you think.
Yeah.
A lot of time. Really, they're not.
Yeah. Well, people ask me all the time, how much do I need? Do I need $1 million? I say you need as much as you can get.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're going to need. And God forbid if you get sick, forget it. You can go through your assets in a heartbeat.
There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
Well, listen, Joe Thomas, he offers 2 things completely for free. One are copies of your book, The Retirement Know-It-All, which is a great book. I have read the book. It is a quick, easy read that is filled with actionable advice and tips for anyone who's already retired or plans on retiring at any point in their life. Okay, so call for the book. But also, you offer free phone consultations. And you can take advantage of the free phone consultation with Joe Thomas no matter where you're located in America. So I'm going to give you the number, but if you miss the number, that's okay. Go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. That's why I always say Jupiter Joe Thomas, so you guys will remember the website, JupiterJoe.com. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999, or go to JupiterJoe.com. All right, Joe, so we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much, Brian. Have a great day.
All right, take care. All right, let's go back to our, well, you know what? Let's see here. We got Steve Kane. Steve Kane, good morning. Did I lose you? I think I lost Steve again. I appreciate it. Hold on. All right, take care, Joe. All right, while we're trying to get Steve, I'll go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, boy, this is going to be one of those days. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Oh, boy. It's going to be one of those days, guys. I'm feeling it already. Well, we'll try to get Steve during the break because I'm not sure exactly what happened. I lost the connect. Okay. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to regroup and recalibrate what we're doing. Our number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Now, there's a story that I started with at 6 a.m., and then we got sidetracked into these other things, and I want to recap it because this is not just an amazing story. This is one of, if not the most important story of today. And when it comes to politics, you got to understand, next week is the Republican National Convention, which is huge. You know, we are in believe it or not, what we're calling now the summer of Trump. The summer of Trump. And, Biden today has his big boy press conference with the NATO people. And then he also, by the way, Biden has set up an interview. That's all worked out, Mike. Can you put that, though, on there, if you don't mind? We got this interview coming up that Biden has set up with Lester Holt from NBC News. He's the NBC News anchor. And there was a time when you didn't have to say the NBC News anchor. Everybody knew who the three anchors were, but it's not so much that way anymore. But he set up this interview with Lester Holt on NBC News, and that interview is pretty significant because the interview with that he did with Stephanopoulos last week was a disaster. Everything Biden does is a disaster. His dementia issues are getting worse by the day for a number of reasons. And it's not just because he's gotten old in the last 2 weeks than he was, Stress makes him more symptomatic. Stress. And he is under tremendous amounts of stress. Now, the cognitive decline may be so far gone that you think he's not aware of things. He's aware. He has moments, between 10 and 4 in the afternoon, but they're running him ragged. And the stress and as much as they're running him around makes him more symptomatic. So his cognitive problems are going to get worse as this goes on because of the pressure. And NBC News with Lester Holt, NBC, they're the ones, they went all over. Everybody was talking about NBC News yesterday because they had the Parkinson's expert on who said, well, I haven't examined him, but he has Parkinson's, and he went through it. So this interview that Biden is doing with Lester Holt is a pretty big deal because first off, there's nothing Biden can do that's going to help him. He's in a catch-22, right? If he performs as normal, it will be another babbling disaster. If he performs well, people will think, well, they did some editing. There's something up with that, okay? But NBC News, they had their medical expert on who said he has Parkinson's. It has now been confirmed that he's been meeting with a Parkinson's expert every month for 8 months. Not 3 times, he's met him 8 times. So Lester Holt is going to have to ask him if he has been diagnosed with Parkinson's, which obviously he has if they have had the Parkinson's expert sneaking him into the White House all the time and meet with him. So if Lester Holt asks him that, if he doesn't, Lester Holt's going to be totally trashed. He's got to ask him that. Biden has a choice to make, to tell the truth or lie. And no matter which he does, he's done. I mean, if he tells the truth, he won't be in as much trouble as if he lies. But the 25th Amendment, I think, is pretty much off the table. I've got something coming up with Chuck Todd we'll get into in a bit, and I'll tell you why I say it's pretty much off the table. They'll do it if they have to, but they don't want to do it. Because they're in a... Okay, I'll give you an example. Remember when the Parkland shooting happened and Governor DeSantis removed the sheriff of Broward County? The sheriff of Broward County at the time was involved in all kinds of corruption, but he didn't want to leave the job because he could control the messaging while he was the sheriff. Okay? That's what the Bidens are doing right now. If they get rid of Biden from the presidency through the 25th Amendment, the discussion immediately is going to shift to what's been going on the last 4 years at the White House. And there's a lot of crime being committed by Jill, by Hunter, by his entire staff, okay, by Kamala, by all of them. And they don't want that to be exposed. At least they want to put it off being exposed for as long as possible. So there's resistance from them just based on that. But if Biden lies and says, no, he does not have Parkinson's, even though we've seen this Parkinson doctor they've snuck into the White House several times, That's going to start another If he says he's got it, it's going to be a whole nother dialogue about his fitness because of what we've seen. It's going to get worse. So this very desperate Lester Holt interview, no matter what happens, it's a disaster. Now, there's two things, though, that I want to get to after the break. The one is the story out of New York and this other thing about Chuck Todd. If you're on hold, hang in there. We will take some calls as well. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be right back. Where'd you put that mic? Yeah. I don't see it. Oh, no. Can you?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it gets distortion there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were pointing.
Can you grab the magnet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too close to the speaker.
Perfect.
So just put it on the back, and then there, it doesn't get the distortion.
That makes more sense. How did I not realize you put that in there?
That's okay. Yeah, I was doing it there for a while.
That's what I was probably thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream Sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Just the way you like it. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, with succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus.
Oh, man.
Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Santa Lucia.
Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John, CFO at Lighthouse Medical Center. Our hormone optimization therapy programs have helped so many people get back to feeling the way they did in their 20s. They're full of energy after a long day, reduced their risk of heart disease, sexual vigor and excitement are great, sleeping the way they should without disturbances, and reducing their symptoms of aging. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Call 833-283-5050 and Sloman's will give you a free home security system, a free doorbell camera, and free professional installation. All you have to do is use their low-cost central station monitoring.
Yes, we know you've heard this 1 million times.
Wow.
Sloman's is the best in home security, privately owned, and serving homeowners for over 100 years.
All right, what else comes with this special offer?
Sloman's will customize a system specifically for your
Boy, that's
professional installation.
different.
Touchscreen TV,
I was about to say, I didn't even
They just edited the two commercials together.
battery in case of power failure.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of...
So call Sloman's at 833-283-5050.
Who doesn't security system by now. Sloman's is a no-brainer. A free home security system, free professional installation, and a free doorbell camera. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
Sloman's, the difference is human.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca, 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, anywhere in the world at...
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold standby. I can tell the blood, as much as I think my blood pressure's down, I can tell off the air during the breaks. I'm a little disoriented there during the break. See, these callers, I shouldn't tell these callers they get to me that way, but they did. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh boy, yeah, another one of these. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. I can.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Pencil, can you turn down the volume of the radio or whatever you're listening to in the background? Turn it down, especially if it's me.
Okay.
That's okay.
First of all, I want to say good morning to you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for what you're doing. We need you. We appreciate you, Mr. Craig. You spoke with me a few weeks ago. I'm the mother, the grandmother, the survivor that was in that bus crash.
Oh, yes.
Years ago and was going through challenges, and I know you had told me to send the GoFundMe email or something you could send to me. But I want
if you go to my Twitter, Brian Craig Show on Twitter, you can send me a message there. That's the best way. Twitter. Brian Craig Show. Oh, what about Instagram? Oh my goodness. X is Twitter. Yeah, X. Yes, I'm on X. Brian Craig Show. Yes.
Okay, Brian Craig. Okay, so
Brian Craig Show. Brian Craig Show.
Okay, I would like, if you can, to talk with your doctor to see if you can start adding a pinch of cinnamon and a pinch of ginger to your coffee. Also helps lower your blood pressure every day. That's what
I don't have high blood pressure. I did a few years ago, and I made a couple of changes. Gone. I don't take any medication, natural or prescriptions, nothing. But I so my blood pressure is fine. But that doesn't, even though your blood pressure is okay, doesn't mean it doesn't go up under certain things. And I could tell I remember what it felt like when I had regular high blood pressure just by being awake, and I was feeling it with those lunatic people that called me in the first hour. I could tell my blood pressure went through the roof. And it's still probably high. When I get off the air, it'll go down.
Right. I know you're fighting a lot of the forces, but we're praying for you. I suggest all those who are listening to your show that they keep you in prayers.
Yes.
And, we need you. But like I said, Donald J. Trump, God bless America, MAGA 2024.
Okay.
We just need prayer in this country.
All right, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right, take care. Thanks so much. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
James from Boca.
Hey, James.
Hey, I got a question for you, Brian. I didn't think Pamela, whatever her name is, could be president because she's not a U.S. citizen.
She is a U.S. citizen. What makes you think that?
I don't know. I just thought I heard that she couldn't really be president because of her parents not being.
It doesn't matter. If your parents are not citizens, but you're born in the United States, you're a citizen. You're natural born. And you're eligible to be president or vice president. She was born in California. I know a lot of people say that, and a lot of people say stupid things like that to try to make conservatives look stupid. And they're trying to get that birther thing going that was going on with Obama, and there's real questions about that. But no, Kamala Harris, her parents, her mother was from India. Her father was from Jamaica. She was born in California, and she started grade school in California. But her parents divorced, and around the end of elementary school or so, her mother moved her to Canada, And then she was in Canada and finished all her schooling in Canada until she came back to America for college. But no, she's a natural-born U.S. citizen, born in California, Kamala Harris. So she is, you can't be vice president if you're not eligible to be president.
Well, that's what I wondered when I heard that. I'm like, that none of it made sense, but I was hoping that she couldn't be, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't think that we should have presidents who are women that have sex with married men, you know, which is what she did. I think that's a person of low moral character. And, you know, I understand people have issues like that, but what Kamala Harris did is something that I've never known someone to do in that position. She didn't just have an affair with a married man. She was open about it. She would go out to public events and be introduced as his girlfriend. Who does that? That's crazy. She'd go to events with him, and they would, and I mean, you know, so she is at a whole nother level of lowlife. You know, like Nikki Haley, who we got to be nice for because she released her delegates to Trump, okay? But she was having sex with men other than her husband, right? She wasn't bragging about it. She was doing it in parking lots and behind restaurants and her car and stuff. You know, she wasn't bragging about it. Kamala Harris was bragging that she was having sex with a married man to elevate herself. So, I mean, that is a whole... people have affairs. It's wrong, but they do, but they don't brag about it. She was out advertising it. That's crazy.
Oh, and by the way, when you had heat stroke on Saturday...
A little bit.
What?
Could be. It could be. All right, take care. I appreciate the call. Some good calls today, making up for that early trash we had. I went long in the last segment because it's just been one of those mornings. But the show has flown by. I must say, this show has flown by. It's like in a blink of an eye. But I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour on time. We've got 2 segments left in the last half hour. You're welcome to call in about anything that I've brought up so far. But I want to recap that New York story with Trump because it's the biggest story of the day. And then there's a second story that is just starting to develop that I haven't gotten to yet that I want to touch on. All right, my name is Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the True Oldies Weather Service. Today is July 11th, 2024. Right now, it's about 75 degrees outside, and it's going to reach about 85 degrees later throughout the day. It is going to be a stormy day today, so just keep an umbrella handy and close by. And be safe for your good rest of the Thursday morning.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Traffic update is sponsored by Snyder AC Plumbing and Electric. It's hot. When you're fighting this South Florida heat, you can rely on Snyder's HVAC expertise to take care of your home and keep you comfortable today, tomorrow, and 10 years from now. Snyder is here ready to serve you. Schedule today. SnyderAC.com. That's SnyderAC.com. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Palm Beach Kennel Club offers exciting OTB action from top horse tracks around the country, including Saratoga Racetrack starting this week. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. And check out the upcoming dinner shows, including Rat Pack Now, August 23rd, plus the Pure Zeppelin Experience, October 11th, Let It Be, November 8th, and more. Go to ppkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system.
I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated your knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effect. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
And now, a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain.
Steve, you there?
Temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees.
Okay.
Cutting FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet. Plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Hi, True Oldies listeners. Jupiter Joe here. Ask yourself, do I have a guaranteed retirement plan, or do I have a plan with no control of my money? Let me let you know how our retirement plans work. They are guaranteed never to lose money, guaranteed to earn interest, and protected from stock market losses. If you want your retirement plan to work like this, go to jupiterjoe.com or give me a call at 561-743-0999. Again, jupiterjoe.com or 561-743-0999.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com. Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So use the rest. Go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the...
All right, 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, so some big stuff involving Trump and Biden in the last 24 hours. I know you've seen this story about George Clooney saying he should drop out. You know, that's a bigger deal than people realize, because I know a lot of people say, well, who cares about George Clooney? Democrats care. Do you know that the 2 largest Democrat fundraisers in history were organized by George Clooney? That one that he just did was the largest in history, the largest Democrat fundraiser in history. George Clooney just made. So he's like the top Democrat campaign bundler, fundraiser. That's a pretty big deal. So if you think about the story in a more accurate way, not George Clooney, former star of Facts of Life. You know, there was a movie he was in that was pretty good, a sequel, and people don't talk about it too much, especially him, but have you ever seen The Return of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Not The Attack of the Killer. You ever heard of that movie, Mike? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? George Clooney was in the sequel to Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, The Return of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. But if you think about it this way, the Democrats' largest donor has called for Joe Biden to drop out. It's a bigger deal, isn't it? It's a pretty big deal. And they're burning money and they're not raising anymore. He's being financially cut off by the top donor, the top bundler, the top fundraiser in the Democrat Party. That's a pretty big deal. So then yesterday, so the last 24 hours were devastating for Biden, perfect for Trump, and what I'm calling, and again, my wife came up with this title, and I love it, The Summer of Trump. It is the Summer of Trump, nonstop great news. So Chuck Todd, who was fired as the host of Meet the Press, and they replaced him with this woman who's friends with the Obamas, and NBC really humiliates him. I saw him a couple weeks ago. He was a guest on Meet the Press. Can you imagine? They fire him from his show, and then they make him come back as a guest on the show that used to be his? How humiliating. Chuck Todd, he's under contract, you know? So anyway, this is Chuck Todd on his podcast, and he revealed something. Listen.
I'm not going to out the cabinet secretary. Right. But I had a cabinet secretary 2 years ago. Right. Okay, 2 years ago. All out of the blue asked me, do you really think he's going to, he can't run again like this? And I said, well, you have more interaction with him than I do. And they said, I don't have a lot of interaction with him. This is a pretty senior cabinet secretary. So, and this was 2 years ago. This is one of those, you know, it's the classic open secrets, a non-versation, right? It's the story everybody knows and no one was, everybody.
Okay. So, I mean, this is amazing. So 2 years ago, a senior cabinet official told Chuck Todd that Joe couldn't run. Senior cabinet official, that knocks out some of the lower people, right? Like Buttigieg. Those aren't senior cabinet people. Senior cabinet is Secretary of State, Attorney General, Defense Secretary. This Defense Secretary we have, though, is an idiot. It couldn't have been him. So who else could that? Secretary of State, Attorney General, Defense Secretary, Treasury Secretary. Who else would you consider senior cabinet? Vice President's part of the cabinet, too, I think. I don't know if officially. I think they are, though. That's a big deal. And people are giving Chuck Todd a hard time, like they're giving Clooney, right? Why? You're just telling us this now? Let him tell it to us now, okay? Chuck Todd's pissed off. They fired him, and they have him come back as a guest on his own show that they fired him from. Okay? He's pissed off, so he's doing... You know, this is an important time, and all these people that are attacking the media for... I agree that they did it. They should have been covering this all along, and they've been covering up for Biden, but why punish them for it now? They're doing the right thing now. When we win the election, then we can call them out and punish them and hold them accountable, okay? But right now, Chuck Todd, George Clooney, CNN, they're doing the Lord's work here by exposing Biden. And, you know, this big boy press conference today of Biden's, this NATO press conference, the White House press corps, they have been told that it's going to be a real full press conference. What Biden's been doing the last couple of years on his few press conferences that he's done is, oh, by the way, before I get to that, finish up on Chuck Todd. Chuck Todd just teased one of the biggest stories of the week, that a senior cabinet official wants Biden to drop out. And he didn't want to just drop that on his podcast. He wants to tease that out there. He wants another gig like he used to have. He wants to drop that somewhere big. He's using that to try to get a better gig. But this press conference, the big boy press conference that Biden's having this afternoon after 4 p.m., oh boy, that's how fit he is, like 5:30 or something. They've been told that it's not just going to be a couple of questions here. What Biden's been doing the last 2 or 3 years is doing press conferences and taking like 3 or 4 questions and stammering off. It's going to be a regular full press conference. They've been told, now that could be changed, these are, who we're dealing with here. But they've been told that it is a full press conference. They're all going to be able to ask questions, multiple questions, follow-ups. And these reporters, since this is out there today, what these reporters in the White House press corps are going to be looking to do is to go viral. Okay? Go viral. Ask the question to call him out. Ask the question that he has a meltdown under. Now, he may have a full press conference and have a card like he often does with friendly reporters that are going to suck up like IB was doing to me and say all the right things. Okay? Not that I mind the sucking up, IB. It's nice to hear good things from people sometimes who I don't share a last name with. But this press conference is a do not miss this afternoon at 5:30 because the many members of that White House press corps, and there's Ducey, we got Newsmax there. They want to be the one that asks the question that causes the meltdown. They want to have that moment where he stammers, that moment where he says something crazy, that moment when he becomes incoherent. They want it to be their question. So you've got a White House press corps that's lining up, gearing up, and preparing to batter an elderly, dementia-suffering man today. And they want to bring him down. They want to have that "a few good men, you can't handle the truth" moment when he has a breakdown. And they're going to try to do that. They're going to try to do it. Now, it depends on who they call on. If it's what they promise, it could very well happen. Because what they'll do, if it's a real open, full press conference, they're going to work together as a team, right? So if you're in they all want to have the viral moment that everyone's talking about. But what I mean by work as a team is they're going to try to prolong the press conference as long as possible, asking tough, hard questions to wear him down. They're going to try to wear Biden down, make him really tired. The more tired he gets, the more of a meltdown he has, and they're going to hammer him. So it could be a total fix and be boring, or it could be the most exciting, historic press conference a president of the United States has ever given. It could be either one of those. So I will most definitely be watching it. Now, after the break, I want to get to this story about New York and Trump, which is an amazing story. I started the show with it, but I want to go over it again here in the final segment because it's such an important story. It's really, I know the press conference is a big story, but the press conference hasn't happened yet, right? So after tomorrow, the press conference, if he has a breakdown, that's the big story, but it hasn't happened yet. The big story is this story with Trump out in New York, which I'm going to share with you when we get back. Our number is toll-free 1-888-465-2631, and I can tell my blood pressure has returned to normal, by the way, and sorry, guys. 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. Now, but I am going to take it easy today. I'm going to go home and watch that press conference this afternoon on my MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, which is 40% off. You know, I have the MyPillow mattress topper 2.0. It is 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes with a money-back guarantee. It comes with a 10-year warranty and free shipping. It's an absolutely amazing deal. How can you beat that? Now, there's several different mattress toppers. The one I'm talking about right now is the Mattress Topper 2.0. But you can look at the other ones, too. There's great deals on those. But the Mattress Topper 2.0 is the one that has the temperature regulating technology in the material that keeps your body the perfect temperature the whole time you're in it. And the 2.0 is a 3-inch mattress topper. It's literally like being on a cloud. So when I've had a very stressful day like this, and I go and lay down on that 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, it's the equivalent of getting a massage. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, and order yours. Comes in every mattress size as well. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back.
Hard.
All right, now it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Thursday morning gold and precious metals report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Metals looking very strong, Brian. The market back over $2,400 for gold this morning. Yesterday we saw gold gain $6.70, closing out the day at $2,370.70. Silver gained 2 cents at closing out the day at $30.77. Platinum was up $7 at $9.92, and palladium was up $7 at $980. As I said, on declining CPI numbers, that we saw a big jump in the precious metals, and gold up right now $37.70. That's $2,408.40 the ounce right now. Silver up 91 cents at $31.68 the ounce. Platinum up $19 at $1,011, and palladium up $22 at $1,002. So the market's doing very well, doing exactly what they should be doing in this market, which we've been saying is going to $2,600 for gold this year, we believe.
That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing because we're really almost $2,000 more an ounce on gold than when we first met you. That's amazing, an ounce. It's amazing. It's absolutely insane. You know, and so right now, of course, everything is available for immediate delivery. But what are some of the best deals on gold right now in the 1 ounce size?
Just everything is on sale as far as the premiums are concerned. You can pick and choose the items that you like the most. You can come in and take a look at the huge variety of different coins we've got, and you can build a little collection of different bullion coins from all over the world and have a great time doing it.
Yeah.
Have the only real money in the world. The only real money left is gold, and it's been that way for 5,000 years.
That's correct. Yeah, you know, I remember when the first time we met with you and Steve and I walked out of your shop and gold was $435 an ounce. I said to Steve, Steve's like, you should buy some gold. I said, well, Steve, it's been around for 5,000 years. How much higher can it go? And here we are, $2,000 an ounce higher. So what do I know, right? But that's it's absolutely amazing. And you know, unlike your paper money, it's real money. You can hold it in your hand. It holds its value. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago, William Youngerman. What is gold? Is it a savings? Is it an investment? What do you consider gold?
A real store of value for our assets. It's the only real monetary asset that you can own that is not tied to other liabilities. So it's in and of itself, when you own it free and clear and it's in your hands, it is the only real asset that you have, financially speaking, that can give you a sense of your finances being fit.
That's right. And remember, William Youngerman, and this is an amazing thing that is not unique to this industry, William Youngerman will buy back anything he sells you. So, you know, you get your gold, you get your whatever it is, and down the road, the reason that you purchased that metal has arrived, your retirement, you're buying a car, you're buying whatever it is, you go over to William Youngerman's, you can turn it into that paper money. All right, give him a call. He opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And on his website, you can find both the address and phone number, WilliamYoungerman.com. That's WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out this exciting week tomorrow.
Okay, have a good.
All right, we'll be right back. All righty, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay, so this story out of New York that's in Politico is a massive, massive story. And, you know, everything's been bad news for Biden. And Biden is beyond repair, okay? A lot of people say, well, the media, they could flip on a dime. They could flip on a dime, but the damage has been done. They can't undo what everybody has seen and what they've been hearing for the past 2 weeks. It's too severe. Now, this story out of Politico, listen to this. New York State is now being considered a toss-up battleground state. Now, this is insane. For the last, I don't know, like 30, when's the last time New York went Republican in the presidential race? Was it Reagan? Does anyone know? It's been a long time. It's been a long time. And the toss-up battleground states are states that sometimes go Democrat, sometimes go Republican. They mostly stay the same, but sometimes they flip to one or the other and they don't go back. Florida used to be a toss-up battleground state. Florida went for Obama, it went for Clinton, but it went for Bush, and it went for Trump. But it's no longer a toss-up state. Florida is a solid red state. Okay? But we used to be a toss-up state. New York is a safe Democrat state. Has been. And like California. Well, that has changed. Listen to this. Elected officials, union leaders, and political consultants are panicked over new polls showing a steady erosion of Biden's support in New York, which he won by 23 points 4 years ago. This is in left-wing Politico. Democrats are so worried they've been trying to convince the Biden team to pour resources into New York to shore up his campaign and boost Democrats running in half a dozen swing districts that could determine the control of the House of Representatives. Biden aides have not focused on New York. See, now that their top donor, George Clooney, is pulled out, and many small, they're not raising money. They got what they got, and they're burning money. And they don't have extra money to throw around in places that they've never had to fight for. And I'll tell you another thing about New York. The Democrats have had New York pretty solid for about 30 years. It's got to be 30 years, if not more. Okay, in this article they say 25, 20, but it's longer. There's been Republican governors, but, you know, when's the last time a Republican won the presidency in New York? I can't remember. Was it Reagan? Let me know. But it's a long time ago, right? How many of you weren't even alive or too young to even remember Reagan? So, you know, it's how long it's been, okay? But because it's been such a safe Democrat state, they don't have a machine like they have in other states. See, the Democrats are not nearly as popular as they want people to think. They have their solid blue areas. They got those in the bag. They concentrate all their efforts in a couple of the swing states. So they do not have machines in these safe blue states, California and New York, because they don't need them. And that's just the way it is. But aides have not focused on New York, committing no significant resources to a state where they expect Biden to win easily. By the way, there's 28 electoral college votes in New York, a lot. But the warning signs are impossible to ignore and have been building over the past year. 2 private polls conducted in a swing New York House district and reviewed by Politico say, now this is like that electoral college. When they say private polls, these are internal polls. So the Democrats, to get rid of Biden, have been releasing their internal polls that the public never see. The reason I don't follow polls are because the polls that we see on TV all the time are push polls. They're not the real scientific polls. There are real scientific polls that are done, but they never show them to us. So the fact that the Democrats have been releasing, calling them leaks, of internal polls is historic. I've never heard of this happening before. One poll in September, another in March, found Trump leading Biden by a point. Found Trump leading Biden in New York. So that's a virtual tie. Public polls over the last 4 months found Biden's lead has gotten smaller to just 8 points. Those are in those fake public polls. We're still acting like this is a one-party state, which for pretty much 20 to 25 years it has been, says Democrat Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine. He said, I truly believe we, that's New York, we are a battleground state now. Now, a Manhattan Borough President is that's like Boss Tweed type guy, if you guys know who that was. He's a Democrat Party boss in New York City. That's a pretty powerful guy, pretty influential guy in New York State and New York City Democrat politics. He's at the top of the food chain, and he is declaring that New York State is now a battleground state, and the Democrat Party and Biden's camp are in denial about it. This is an amazing, beautiful thing. And if they're now a battleground state, what other states are battleground states? All right, 1-888-465-2631. The summer of Trump, people. That's what it is. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air. Oh, boy. It's one of those days. They're upset, Mike, that my blood pressure returned to normal. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Rich in Coral Springs.
Hey, Rich. What's up?
I'm glad you mentioned the polls. I wanted to talk about that. I think it's pretty much a deep state optics. They're always so close, but anytime I'm out, I talk to people. It's so opposite of that everybody I talk to is voting for Trump.
And you're in Coral Springs, so you are in the bluest county around, right? Broward County is a very blue county, more corrupt than the Chicago Cook County machine, and it's become Trump country. That's significant. Why do you think that is? Why are so many people that you're encountering all of a sudden Trump people?
It just looks so bad for Biden. There's no covering it up. It's not a deep fake.
Yeah, I mean, his mental incompetence, it scares the hell out of people.
Unfortunately, like, rest in peace, Richard Lewis, but he looks as bad as Richard Lewis did in the last interview on Thursday.
Oh, my God. And Richard Lewis passed away. Oh, my goodness. All right, yeah, maybe. All right, take care. Oh, boy. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian. What's up?
You know, this show, this is a tremendous job on educating people on what an amazing time that we're living in now. Almost on a daily basis, almost on an hourly basis now. I just hope people appreciate it. As far as the Clooney story, that's the end of the fundraising. That's the end of the campaign. No money, no campaign. But the audacity of these people to just change on a dime and say, okay, we're not for Biden anymore. After all this money pours in.
Well, I'll tell you something, okay, about the fundraiser. These fundraisers, a couple things about them. Number one, when it's Clooney, who's the number one fundraiser organizer in the Democrat Party. So you got to take it away from the celebrity says. The top fundraiser in the Democrat Party said he should drop it. Obviously, it's a hard ticket event that you got to pay boatloads of money to get in, right? For Clooney and the new Rat Pack. But a lot of these big donations are pledges, where people pledge to donate over a period of time. So all that money that they say they've raised, they have not collected all of it.
Phone call from me because you pledge all that money and they do a 316 sale. We're not back and buy.
That's right.
Pledge.
If it's a pledge, absolutely. If it's a pledge, you can. And believe me, these uber-rich people know how to stop payment on a future pledge that they've committed to. Absolutely. It's not a contract. Yeah.
Another inflection point at 5:30 tonight. They're going to be looking to take a scalp.
They're going to hop them up with Red Bull and whatever drugs they give them and that stuff they found outside the Situation Room. You know, but you can be over-caffeinated. You can be over-energized, which causes a crash too, you know.
Yes. Well, there's no doubt Trump and MAGA are on the march, and this is an amazing time. I just hope people really appreciate it. You guys, this is a great job on highlighting these events for people.
I appreciate it. Listen, we're out of time for today, but thank you. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. Tomorrow, of course, is Friday. That means open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And I imagine we'll be talking about Biden's big boy press conference. But it is open phones. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. If you're on hold and you hang in there, you'll be first on the line tomorrow morning at 6. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. See you tomorrow.
WSFS 10.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like the video before you go, guys, all right? Like the video, and if you're new, subscribe. All right, take care. See you later.